Next story up is from Uber and Lyft, discriminating against their LGBTQ passengers. Chris Parker, who is an assistant professor of information technology and analytics at American University, has headed a study this past month showing that riders who are perceived to be people of color and LGBTQ supporters are, quote, canceled on more frequently before pickup than white and perceivably straight passengers. After he did his whole report on this and handed it over to NBC, NBC apparently did their own study on this and said in their report, quote, after 3,200 observations during both peak and non-peak hours of the day, the researchers determined that while there was no significant evidence of bias against women riders compared to male riders of both races, both black men and black women were nearly 3 times more likely to be canceled on than their white peers. Their test also showed that signaling support for the LGBTQ community with a rainbow filter, I guess in your profile pic, resulted in the passenger nearly doubling their chance of being canceled on across races. Now, Uber and Lyft, with this report out there, are saying that they will review their policies and their practices for their drivers, but I don't know if it's as easy as they think of a fix here. If you're not aware, Uber and Lyft are both ride platforms on apps that you can download on your phone, on Android or iOS devices, I believe, and you download this app and you tell the app, I want to go from this location to this location, and it gets you a driver in the area. And basically, drivers could be anyone. It doesn't have to be a licensed taxi driver, which is a whole another court case that happened in New York City, I believe. But anyone can sign up to be a driver, and an employee make extra money for them, as long as they have a nice car and they have a proper license and all this other stuff. So they do some vetting for their employees as Uber and Lyft, but apparently not enough. And what the real problem here is that, I mean, as a driver, you could say, I don't want this person in my vehicle, and Uber and Lyft don't really have to have a policy against that, because it's your personal feelings towards whether or not you're uncomfortable in that situation. So maybe they can change their policies to say if you're gay or trans, or if you're an African American in our country and you want to get a ride on Uber and Lyft, there's a check mark box that you have to check off in the app that selects drivers who are more open to that, maybe, which I don't think is completely fair, but I think that's the only way that Uber and Lyft can solve this, is if they have something in their app that allows the user and the patrons to say, I'm gay, I want drivers that are okay with that. And again, this goes into whether or not a business should deny service for anyone, but this is a societal issue now where our kids are growing up in a world where racism and homophobia and transphobic beliefs are still prevalent in our society. And so I don't think this is something that Uber and Lyft can solve so easily, or can solve without a lot of controversy over what they're doing to solve it. And so, because even if they do have a checkmark box in their app, they're going to get backlash for that, but at the same time, I don't know how else they would solve it. I'm hoping they have some other solution that's better, but we shall have to wait and see what their solution is for this. But I think it's mostly just a societal issue where a driver is growing up in a world where they're afraid of an African American or afraid of a gay person or whatever. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this story progresses. If you have any thoughts on any of the stories we shared, have any questions or stories you think we missed this past month, please do leave those in the comments down below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our network for plenty more great gay content to come in the future, and share this video with others. I'm Matt Haslam, this has been PPR, and have a gay day everyone. Bye for now.